Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.
Good evening, Wildcat fans from Roy Shaver Stadium in the Marion Family Complex. John Ball and Matt Ball with you. We're getting ready for a 4:30 start time for the Neosho Wildcats as they entertain the Webb City Cardinals. Matt, the Cardinals come in feeling pretty good about themselves. They beat Ozark the other night, and they amassed 11 hits in the midst of that. So they're showing some offense, and they're excited about where they're going. Right now, their record is 12-11. They're 5-2 in COC play. They're coached by Andrew Downing, who is in his 5th year. So we're pretty excited about getting this ball game going. Why don't you tell us a little something about district, where we're there, because in 2 short weeks, in fact, we play tonight, we play on Saturday, we go to Carl Junction, then we play Nixa on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. And we finish up with Branson, and you and I will be here to cover that ball game because it'll be the last game of the regular season for us.
Well, as districts go, we're still in number 1 at 73.08%. Nixa moved in to 2nd, and Ozark is at 3rd, and we're just a few percentages in between each other. And as far as everything else goes, they're back down to 50%.
Well, what that percentage means is the number of wins that you've got versus the number of losses, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the Cats have done a really, really good job. Now, my understanding is Monday the 19th, after we play, certainly, Nixa, and then we play Branson to finish the season out on a Saturday, we will have the seeding meetings, and, of course, it would be really nice to be awarded that number 1 seed. But as far as I'm concerned with this particular ball team, I don't care what our seeding is. I believe that we want to win. We have a desire to win, and we've got a great chance of doing that.
Yeah. I like the seeding as it goes, is who's going to play first in the tournament. So I don't think that really matters with us. We'll play no matter what.
That's exactly right. We will actually, the first round will be 4 games on Wednesday, and it'll be pared down to 2 games on Thursday. And championship game right now is slated for Friday, but you never know whether there's going to be rain delay or anything like that. So Saturday night is open also. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Maintenance Center. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back after this. You're watching KNEO and the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Pastor Mike from Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a few moments to give you hope today. Are you feeling overwhelmed with the daily struggles of affording rent, paying for groceries, buying gas? I want you to know that there is a God who is big enough to handle all these problems and bring you relief. He wants you to live free from worry and stress. James 4:2 says, "You have not because you ask not." Have you asked God to help you today? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake. Hi, I'm Pastor Mike of Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a minute to share grace with you today. And what is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something that you don't deserve. I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God has made a way for me to have one by His grace. Titus 2 says the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. Have you accepted that gift of grace? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to take 30 seconds today to encourage you to pray. Because our prayers have the power to move heaven. James 5 says the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. When we pray, God listens. When we pray, situations can change. When we pray, miracles can happen. And heaven moves on our behalf, simply because we pray. Take some time today and pray. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the four-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Welcome back to Roy Shaver Stadium. The sky looks a little ominous out there, but hopefully we're going to get this ball game in. It looks like it is sprinkling just a little bit, but this is another one of those nights for KNEO where we've actually got two schools that we do sports with. We do Webb City. We did McDonald County last week, and they sat down in the front. And then Will and Tim from Webb City will be calling the ball game. It'll also be on the radio. So you can, if you want to, watch us and listen on the radio to KNEO. On the mound for the Cats tonight is Brody Crane. Brody's had two really good outings here of late. 2 games ago when we played... 3 games ago, actually, when we played Willard, he had a really, really great outing with 10 strikeouts. And ball game before that, he started out throwing 4 straight strikes, and it just kind of went from there. So he is backed up by A-Rod, who comes in from right field, and he is striking out the side. He got 1 strikeout to finish the ball game, and then he got 3 strikeouts to finish the ball game the other night. So we're excited about the pitching staff. Now you will see Drake Jennings, who normally plays out in left field. He's got a little bit of an ankle injury, but he'll be DHing tonight for the Cats. Cats come in with a record of 19-7, looking for that 20th game tonight. We are 6-4 in COC play after having beat Parkview the other night. We beat them 11-0, and we had and I checked this with Coach, we had a 2-game performance from Hudson Williams, who also, Matt, went yard. He said completely. Well, I had to ask him because Hudson has already hit a grand slam this year inside the park, so I thought maybe with his speed that's what happened, but he said, no, he connected with it, and it was out of the ballpark. So 6 other Cats got hits that night as well, so we're coming in with the offense firing the whole way with the things we've got to do. Tonight we want to continue to do. We want to continue to play good defense, and good defense seems to be our friend, as Coach Kilgore has said, defense wins ball games.
And it does. But, boy, I'd like to see some base hits.
Yeah, we certainly want to have some base hits. We had 6 base hits the other night on the way to a walk-off with Jaden Nichols. He had a walk-off that brought Finn Versluis in the bottom half of the 7th inning with 2 outs. I don't think we could have made it any later than that, could we?
No, that was I got old that game.
Yeah, I did too. You are watching the pregame show. It is being brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Maintenance Center. We're going to take another 3-minute timeout. We will be back with the keys to the Cats and the starting lineups and much, much more. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho, and I want to give you some encouragement today. None of us are perfect, but sometimes we feel like we have messed our lives up so badly that even God can't fix us or help us. I want to assure you that's not the case. In Romans 8:28, we read that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That means that God can even use your mistakes to do good in your life. I want to encourage you to trust God and let Him give you peace about your past, a purpose in your present, and hope for your future. With KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
In a sense, we all live in earthquake zones. Sometimes things in our world are shaken by forces we can't control. It might be one of those times in your life right now. Life's quakes remind us how breakable and vulnerable we are. You were made for a relationship with Jesus Christ. Only through Him can you be safe for all eternity. He proved it by His blood when He died on the cross to pay for every sin you've ever committed. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. And if you're watching the game tonight, you probably like winners. You probably want your team to win, and I understand that. Every game's going to have a winner and a loser, but I want to encourage you in life to find the winning team. Jesus Christ is leading the winning team, and He wants you on His team. Joshua says that we have to choose which side we're going to be on. He says, choose you this day who you're going to serve. So I want to encourage you, along with Joshua in the Old Testament, to choose a team to serve. Call out on the Lord today. Talk to Him, trust Him, and see what He'll do in your life. I want to encourage you to choose the winning team. That's Jesus' team. I hope it'll be your team. For KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are here. This is John Ball, Matt Ball here at the Roy B. Schaefer Stadium at the Marion Complex here in Neosho, Missouri. We are going to start this segment with Keys for the Cats. Keys for the Cats is sponsored by State Farm Eric Norris in Neosho, located at 437 West Kohler Street in Neosho. Eric and his team offer a variety of insurances, services for individuals and businesses. Learn more online at ericnorrisinsurance.com or by phone 417-451-6666. Let's go Wildcats.
All right, and let's start with Keys for the Cats. C stands for take command of this ball game. This game with Webb City not only has COC implications in our side of the district, but it also has the ability to be our 20th win, something we've not done since 2004. We've got to get to these Cardinals and get to them fast. Throw strikes, put the ball in play, and give the defense a chance. We need to attack at the plate. We saw the other night against Mac that what brought us to the dance happened again. That was Finn getting on base with 2 outs in the 7th inning, hitting a single into right center field, stealing second base, and then Jaden turning on a curveball, as he told us in the interview, right down third base line in order to win the ball game. So what we've got to do tonight in order to win the ball games is we've got to get in attack mode, and we've got to get in attack mode from the giddy-up. Let's let the Webb City Cardinals know that it's going to be a long night for them. T, we have to take this one step at a time. We win tonight, so we go to CJ on Saturday and Nixa on Wednesday before Branson on the next Saturday. We could run the table, but it all starts with a win tonight. S. We beat Parkview the other night 11-0 with 6 hits, a 2-hit performance by Hudson Williams. We score 8.1 runs per ball game. We could have a convincing win tonight if we do those things and we just score.
Yeah.
And as you see out there, we've got 2 of the officials out at home plate, and the coach Andrew Dowling with Webb City is right there. He was the man not many years ago. Cale Smith was pitching on the mound, and after the ball game, the thing that he said, and what a great way to honor Cale, was, "I'm so glad that he's graduating, I can't hardly stand it." So, and of course, Cale's brother Canton will be behind home plate, and we're going to graduate about 8 of these seniors before the night's over with. So let's go ahead and get the starting lineups going. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, and for the visiting Webb City Cardinals, it'll start off with Andrew Young, who, by the way, had 3 hits the other night against Ozark, and he'll be playing center field. Carson Myers will be wearing number 4, and he plays left field. He'll bat second. Brock Renfro will be playing first base. In the 4 spot will be Mason Young, the third baseman. Luke Bevlin will be pitching tonight, and he had quite a performance not only this year but his last year as well, and he has pitched really well, so he is their big pitcher. So there's some satisfaction in the respect the Cats are getting with that kind of a pitcher tonight. In the 6th hole, wearing 16, is Brody Eggleston. He'll be playing right field. In the 7th hole, wearing number 12, is Cohen Epler. He will be playing second base. He'll be followed by Bryson Bard, the catcher. And then the number 9 hitter will be Brandon Stockland, and he plays shortstop. And should things change a little bit, then they will turn around and they'll have a DH, and Bevlin will certainly play that as well. For your Neosho Wildcats, coming in with a record of 19-7, head coach is Keith Kilgore. And we are ready to get going with the starters for them. And we'll start out the same way we have all year long. Number 24, the senior in center field, Finn Versluis. The guy that drove in the winning run the other night against McDonald County, number 11, Jaden Nichols, playing third base. Canton Smith will be behind the plays. Liam McInturf, the big first baseman for the Cats, will be hitting in the number 4 slot. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Brody Crane. Drake Jennings, who is DHing tonight because we said earlier a little bit of a tender ankle and did not want to rest or any opportunity to hurt him. He'll be followed by Jaden Fisher, who will be playing second base. Alex Rodriguez will be in right field, and Hudson Williams will be playing shortstop. Brody Arthur will be the flex player, and he'll be playing in left field. And you hear the PA announcer, Bobby Stackhouse, announcing the Webb City Cardinals. Will announce your Neosho Wildcats in just a minute or two, and we will get this ball game underway after we honor this great country with the national anthem.
And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Neosho Wildcats. Neosho enters today's game with a record of 19 wins and 7 losses with a 3-2 record in the COC West Florida. They are coached by Keith Gilmore, assisted by Drew Osborne, Marcus Crawford, Jake Albert, and T. Helso. Leading off, playing center field, number 24, Finn Versluis. Playing third base,
All right, and with that, we honor our country with the national anthem. We'll be ready to get this ball game underway. Matt, what's the temperature at game time?
It is 67 degrees with the wind coming out of the north at 8 miles an hour. But it looks like to me out there it's coming from the east, and these clouds are just building right here. So your guess is as good as mine what's going to happen.
Well, it very well could be, but I'm sure that we probably will get this ball game underway. For the Cats going around the horn, it will be Fisher at second base. It'll be Liam McInturf at first base, Nichols at third base, and one of the spark plugs of this ball team is Hudson Williams, and he'll be playing shortstop. In the outfield, it will be Arthur, Versluis, and Rodriguez. And we'll be ready to get this ball game underway here in just a minute. Looks like that Brody Crane, the speedster, the heat guy for us, I guess however you want to call it, that certainly throws a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball, is on the mound for the Cats. And we're about ready to get this ball game underway. The home plate umpire has signaled one more strike, one more pitch. There it is, and the ball goes down to second base. And it's caught by Jaden Fisher. Goes over to Williams, from Williams to Nichols, from Nichols to McInturf. And there it is. Andrew Young is the first hitter for Webb City. He has got 9 multi-hit games. Can you believe that? To his name this year in 23 ball games.
Well, it should be exciting to watch.
It should be. So Brody coming from the stretch. There's the first pitch. It's high and outside for a ball. That flag is coming right out of the north, and it's up just a little bit out there. Here comes the next pitch, and that is outside for ball 2. That looked like a really good pitch. Young stands in. He bats left-handed. Crane looks down. There's the next pitch, and there is a high fly foul ball. It's going to get all the way over into the softball field back behind us. So the count now is 2 balls and a strike. In case you're just joining us, glad to have you with us. We're starting this ball game, and this is the top half of the first inning. There's another one, and that's going to be called a ball on the outside, on the inside corner. First batter is Andrew Young. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, so that'll make the count full at 3-2. Myers, Renfro, and Young for the Cardinals in the top half of the first inning. Young steps back in there. Here comes the next pitch, and he kind of fouled that one off just a little. I say kind of. I think he put his bat up more as a defense mechanism, and the ball came off of it and fouled off.
About a quarter swing.
Yeah. So we'll do it again. There's no outs, and we're in the top half of the first inning. Here comes the next pitch from Arthur, and there is another one that is fouled off. So that is 3 foul balls from Andrew Young.
Well, you know, Brody's throwing strikes.
Yes, he is. And here comes his next pitch, and there is a hard-hit ball. Rodriguez is out, and he makes the place for the first out to retire the side. The ball was hit almost into the power alley between right and center field, and A-Rod was there, so there's the first out. Here's Carson Miles. Myers plays left field. Where's number 4 on his back? He steps in there. He's a right-handed hitter. Brody looks down. Here comes the first pitch. Call strike 1. I didn't know whether the umpire was going to call that or not at first. He was a little bit slow, but it looked mighty good to me. So there's the first one, and it's called strike 1. Here comes the next pitch, and it's low and inside for a ball, leaving the count at 1-1. Brock Renfro, who normally plays DH, will be playing first base tonight. He'll be up next. There's the next pitch, and that one's high and inside for ball 2. Cats fresh off a great victory in Springfield over Parkview, and they beat them 11-0. And there's the next pitch. It's called strike 2. So it's going to take a little, home plate umpire's a little hesitant in his motion, or at least from up here, it'll take us a little while to figure that out. And there's the next one, that's fouled off. So the count remains 2-2. Cats defense is playing back at almost double play ball width. Comes the next pitch. And that ball is high and inside. So the count's full. Brody has run the count full on the first 2 batters. So, but I think you're right, Matt, to your point. I think he's throwing strikes.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't be swinging. There's the next pitch. Got him! So there's the first out. Strikeout, and that is the second out. And here's Brock Renfro. What was that? Ball on the outside corner. I think it would have been called a strike anyway, but Myers just swung right through it. Here's the first baseman, Brock Renfro, and he has a really open stance. Bats from the right-hand side. Swung on, strike 1. As we said earlier, the Cats need to get going and get going fast against these guys. There's the next pitch, and that is home plate umpire says it's a little bit high, so that'll even the count at 1-1. 2 outs. We're in the top half of the first inning. Neosho Wildcats against the Cardinals from Webb City. Renfro twists his bat around a little bit. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on and fouled off for strike 2. Crane looks down. He looks down at the ground. Here comes the next pitch, and that's outside. So that'll even the count at 2-2. Here comes Crane's next. Swung on, and it goes right to Hudson Williams over to first base for the out. So 1-2-3 first inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and we go to the bottom half of the first. The score is your Neosho Wildcats 0 and the Webb City Cardinals 0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationship.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Here we are back at Roy B. Schaefer Stadium. John Ball, Matt Ball here. We're going to thank some of our sponsors, Joe Ringstaff, Free Will Baptist Church, Family Market, Affordable Propane, Edgewood Bowling, and the Big Nickel.
Left-hander Luke Beverlin is on the mound for Webb City, and we're just watching him. There's a fastball that they're getting, and they're throwing down to second base, but he basically is like most left-handers. He's got a natural curve. So the Cats will have to see what his timing is like, probably get up in the front of the batter's box just a little bit. Here's Finn Versluis. As we said the other night, he got a single right over the second baseman's head, stole second, and Nichols came around and made the ball right down the third baseline, hit the ball down the third baseline for the winning run for the Cats. The first one is a ball high. And there's the next one. It's going to be called strike one. That'll even the count at 1-1. Both times for Sluices looked like he was going to want to bunt. Here comes, and there's swung on, and that is a hard hit ball over to the third baseman. Third baseman is up. That is Mason Young over to Renfro for the first out. Here's Jaden Nichols. Jaden Nichols, Canton Smith, and Liam McInturf. Versluis hit that ball on the nose, didn't he?
Yeah.
They don't call that third base the hot spot for nothing. And third baseman over there, Mason Young, who's a sophomore, by the way, made a really nice play. First pitch is outside, and it's a ball. There's a call strike on the inside corner. That'll even the count at 1-1.
He seems to be selling them in there.
Yes, he does. Here comes the next. And there is a high ball. First baseman is giving chase. He's over there and makes the play. Here's Canton Smith. That ball was high, and first baseman had plenty of time. The wind was not a factor at all, though. Canton Smith, Lim McInturf, and Brody Crane. Canton steps in, wiggles the bat, and there's the first pitch, and that was an off-speed curveball that dropped right in there for call strike one. Canton steps out, swings his bat a time or two, gets right back in there, and there's the next pitch from Bevelin. And that's a ball low and inside. Here comes the third pitch, and that one's high and outside. So the count now is 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. There's 2 outs, and it is the bottom half of the first inning. Here comes the next pitch from Bevelin, and that is a call strike. So that evens the count at 2-2. Canton will have to choke up on the bat a little bit and protect the plate, but they do these 2-strike drills a lot in Neosho, and he certainly does. He watches that one, but it almost rolls across the plate, so that'll make the count full 3-2. Canton has had about 3 two-hit performances here in the last 5 ball games, and there's one that is fouled high, and it's going to be out of play. So we'll do it again. Looks like the sun's trying to creep out over there now. So
yeah.
Umbrellas drop back down so everybody can see better. Here comes the next pitch, and there's ball 4. So Canton draws a walk. Here's Liam McInturf, and number 6 is going to go in and run, and number 6 is Boston Patterson. A courtesy runner, so Smith can get back, and you can't see it right here, but over on the side, Canton Smith comes over, and he stops and talks to Arthur for just a minute. I'm sure he's talking to him about the pitches that are thrown.
Yeah, he was.
And the first one is called strike one on the outside corner. Patterson was had a pretty good lead over there at first base. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a ball on the inside corner. And home plate catcher is asking the home plate umpire to appeal that to the base umpire, but he said nothing doing. So that'll even the count at 1-1. Lefty's looking over, and here comes Patterson is on his way down to second base, and he got him. So running down, trying to get a stolen base, the catcher does a nice job of 2-4, and that is the third out. So we'll come back with Liam McInturf. There's no runs, no hits, no errors. There was one left on base and was thrown out at the end of one inning of play. The score is 0-0. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
4, 5, and 6 hitters are up for the Webb City Cardinals from the Marion Family Complex and the Roy Schaefer Stadium. There's a pretty good crowd out here. You've got plenty of time to come on out and enjoy some great baseball. Brody Crane is on the mound for the Cats. He gets the ball down. Canton comes up with it, go down to second base around the horn, and we're ready to start the second inning. Third baseman Mason Young wears number 25 on his bat, and he will step in from the right-hand side. After him, it'll be the pitcher, Luke Bevelin. Here comes the first pitch from Arthur, and that's in there for call strike one.
Brody Crane.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, yeah, Brody Crane. I keep wanting to get those guys mixed up, don't I?
It's easy to do.
Yeah, it really is. Both of them are pitchers. One of them's left-handed and the other one's right-handed, but there's a foul off, and that is strike two. So no balls and 2 strikes on Mason Young, the third baseman. Brody Arthur the other night in the ball game had an opportunity on senior night to put the ball into right field for a single that scored the first run that the Cats got. That ball was high and got away from Canton Smith there for just a minute, but home plate umpire retrieves that ball himself. So the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crane looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on. Got him. So Crane records his second strikeout of the night. Here's Beverlin. Throws left-handed, but I think he bats right-handed, which is kind of an interesting twist, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's some people like that out there. Not me.
That's for sure. Here comes the first pitch from Crane, and that is a ball low and outside. Well, Crane's got 2 strikeouts so far. There's the next one. And that's outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. This is a good time to let your defense back you up. Let's put the ball in play. Here comes the next pitch, and that is fouled, and it's going to be out of play. So the count now is 2 balls and a strike. There's 1 out in the top half of the second inning. John Ball, Matt Ball, glad to have you with us tonight as we root on the Wildcats. There's the next pitch. Oh, that was a pretty pitch.
I can't believe that.
That was a little bit of a curveball. It just was not in there for home plate umpire to call it 3 balls and a strike. I just swung at that pitch.
Well, I guarantee it.
Here comes the next pitch, and there's ball 4. So Beverlin's on first base with a walk. Here's Brody Eggleston. Plays right field. There's number 16. And coach is coming down. I believe they're going to have a pinch runner, and that pinch runner is number 11.
Would be Luke Beverlin?
I thought that's who that was. It was up to bat.
Well, that's number 11, Luke Beverland.
Swung on for strike one. We'll see what number that is. I'm sure that's not. But there's a pinch runner on first base for the pitcher.
Well, my eyes I guess they're getting bad too. I don't know.
Eggleston steps back in there. Looks like he's going to bunt.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been the play I believe that Canton would have gotten him that time.
Yeah.
That evens the count at 1-1. Crane looks over at first base. Looks like he wants to. Got him back in there safe. And Eggleston continues to square around a bunt. That time Nichols was almost in on top of him. And there he got him with a strike.
I think that's number 13, possibly. Mason Williams on first.
Yeah, could very well be.
Pinch running?
Yeah, could very well be. I thought it was 11, but then I realized that was.
Well, he hadn't really turned his back to us, Dad.
No, he hasn't. Ball and two strikes. Swung on, got him, strike three. So Brody Crane records his third strikeout of the ball game, and there's 2 outs. Here's Cohen Epler. Plays second base. Arthur throws back over. There was a.
That is 13.
Yeah, that
Mason
is.
Williams. That's who that is. Got that cleared up.
Yeah, there we go. So now we're ready to go, and we've got well, there's actually 2 outs now. And the last was a strikeout, and that's in there for call strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike, 2 outs, and we're in the top half of the second inning. Crane looks over. Here comes a pitch, and they're swung on, and it's a ball over to Jaden Nichols, and it's a foul ball. And Nichols would have had one long throw over to first base that time.
That's true.
So a nice job of stopping that ball. If nothing else, if it had gone fair, nobody was going to get too far down the road. So we'll come back and do it again. There is no balls and 2 strikes on Epler, and there goes the catcher running down, and he makes it. So the catcher Williams, as a pinch runner, steals second base, which is something you don't see very often as a catcher that's got that kind of speed. So Williams is now on second base, but that's not going to mean anything at all if we get this one. A ball and 2 strikes is the count. Epler stands back and steps back in. Here comes a pitch, and that is swung on, and that is a hard hit ball to left field. And I'm not sure what happened, but it was a score, so. And there was a double. So Williams scores from second base after having stole a base. And the score's 1-0 in favor of Webb City. Here's the catcher, Bryson Bard. Crane looks down. He's looking at Canton Smith, his catcher. And he just continues to look. Now he's going to back out. Bard's going to back out for just a minute and get back in. The wind's picked up just a little bit. Here comes the first pitch, and that's high for a ball. Here comes the pitch, and that's low and inside. Crane took a look over at second base and came right across with it. So 2 balls and no strikes. There's 2 outs, and we're in the top half of the second inning. There's the next pitch. Swung on, strike 1. Crane looks down. He continues to look. And Smith flashes signs. There's the next one. And that is low for ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. 2 outs. Top half of the first inning. 1 run in and a runner on second base for the Cardinals. There's the next pitch. And there's a walk. So the catcher, Bard, gets a free pass. Here comes Brandon Strickland, the shortstop. And with that, Kenton Smith wants to go out and talk to his pitcher for just a minute or two. And we've got another pinch runner out there, a courtesy runner, and I believe that may be number 2. I don't know. I don't trust my eyes for anything anymore, Matt.
Well, if it was, it'd be Barrick Hoffman. If that's number 2, I didn't get to see. Canton and Brody are through with their conversation, and Canton is back, and he squats down behind the plate. Maybe more than anything else, the Cats are trying to figure out what to do next, and there is a ball hit up to second base, and Hudson Williams tags him for the out. So nice play that time by Hudson Williams. Strickland actually would have gotten on with a fielder's choice, but there was 1 run on 1 hit. There were 2 left on base, no errors at the end of 1.5 innings of play. It is the Webb City Cardinals 1, Neosho Wildcats coming up to bat. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network. We'll be right back.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
It is the bottom half of the second inning from the Marion Family Complex, Roy B. Shaver Stadium. It'll be Lim McInturf. He was up to bat the last inning when Boston Patterson was called out trying to steal second base. So we started over with and foul ball strike 1 from Luke Bevelin, who is the pitcher of record for Webb City. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a call strike. The ball's in 2 strikes. Brody Crane is up next. Here comes the next pitch, and that one bounces about 5 feet in front of the plate. So the count is now a ball and 2 strikes. Beverland looks in. Here comes the next pitch, and that ball is just heisted out into right field, and it is caught. It was heisted into left field, I'm sorry. And there's the first out. That was Carson Myers, we couldn't see over there at left field. Here's Brody Crane. And he looks at one but lays off of it, and it's high and outside for a ball. Drake Jennings, the DH, will be up next. And there's a hard hit ball, and that's going to be right in the power alley, and he's going to go 2. He could maybe go 3 with the speed that he's got, and he's going to go all the way around to third base. So Crane's going to stand up. Now he's going to slide in with a triple.
Well done.
Nice bit of hitting that time.
Well done.
So the Cats have got something going now. A triple that was lined dead into center field and went all the way to the fence. And Crane just kept on running, and he ended up at third base.
Blaine Patterson took his spot for pinch runner on third. So,
yeah, we got the speedster Blaine Patterson now on third base. And here's Jennings. There's the first pitch, and it's low and inside for a ball. Jaden Fisher and then Hudson Williams will be up. Here comes the next pitch from Bluevelin. Bervelin calls that. It is in there for call strike one. A little bit of a slow curveball. There's his third pitch, and that's high and outside. Count now is 2 balls and a strike. And Blaine Patterson in relief of Brody Crane standing at third base. And there's a ball that's swung on, and it's going to be fouled back into the soccer field almost. That'll even the count at 1-1.
Boy, let's get a base hit.
Here comes the next pitch from Luke, and that one's high and outside. Three balls and 2 strikes on the designated hitter, Drake Jennings. Comes the next pitch, swung on, and that's going to be fouled back right up into the soccer field again. So he's hanging in there. I guess that what you said earlier, that tells you the pitcher's throwing strikes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jennings is going to tee off on one. He's put the barrel on the ball right here. And there's another one right back over here. That's probably going to hit on top of us. No, it does not, but it got close.
I was waiting.
Yeah, I was too. Jennings, Jaden Fisher, and Hudson Williams. There's the next pitch. And they're swung on, and that's going to be a ball that goes to the second baseman, and they're going to give up the run in order to get the out.
We'll take that.
We've got a tie ball game.
Yes, sir.
Jennings did his job, but he was out 4-3, and there's the second out.
Well, every time it's tied, I always say, back to 0.
Yeah, that's right. Just right at it.
Back to 0.
Here's Jaden. He had a hit the other night over at Parkview, and then he takes the first pitch inside for a strike one. And that one's well inside, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Here comes Beverland, next pitch, and swung on, strike 2. Now, both pitchers have been touched in this inning for a run. Here comes Beverland's next pitch, and that's inside. That'll even the count at 2-2. We're in the bottom half of the second inning, and the score is 1-1. Luke Beverland on the mound for Webb City. There's his next one, and that's swung on. It's fouled off. So we'll come back. Would have been slow roller if that had been in bounds. I'm not real sure. Jaden wouldn't have made it over to first base.
Yeah, he would have tried, that's for sure.
And there's a little pop hit that is going exactly where it needed to, and Fisher's on first. Went right over second base. Here's Hudson Williams. He had a single and a home run the other night against Parkview. Probably works harder on his ball game than most anybody I know. He there's back to first base, and Fisher's there in plenty of time. After he hit that inside the park grand slam, I said something to him about that, and he said, well, I'm still not satisfied with the way I'm hitting. And he kind of showed it when his timing was right the other night. And there is a ball on the high and outside. Be top of the bat, or be A-Rod will be the next batter. Then it'll be the top of the batting order for the Cats. And Beverly continues to throw the ball over. Jaden Fisher is obviously disrupting his thought pattern.
He does that very well.
He does. And that was a off-speed pitch that did not drop, so that's ball 2. Jaden took that off-speed pitch that time and just got the bat on it and hit it right square over second base, and there was nobody close. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. That'll even the count at 2-2. Twirls that bat around a little bit. Here comes the next pitch from Williams. And that is called strike. Well, now that makes the count 2-2, I guess. Now there's 2 outs. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. The score is tied, and there's a throwback over to first base. Fisher's back in plenty of time. Hudson hits the ball and he gets it to the outfield. It may be off to the races for Fisher. Got him, call strike 3.
Oh.
Hudson was just froze that time. But there was 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 2 innings of play, we're knotted at 1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
And here we go, the top half of the 3rd inning. So far the pitch count is Crane has 43 pitches and Beverlyn has 41.
Yep.
So they're really close. And the batter is going to be Andrew Young. He flied out to right field his first time up. Crane looks down. There's the first pitch, and that's swung on, and that ball is going to be in there for extra bases. It's going to go all the way to the fence, and Rodriguez is up with it, and he's got the ball into second base, and it looks like the Cats are just going to let him have it.
Oh!
Got really, really close. Nice job of what looked like to be a triple cutoff, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
So Andrew Young starts off with a triple. Here's Carson Myers, the left fielder. Young certainly got around on that one, didn't he?
He did.
He did, and he went right back into that corner down there in right field. There's the first pitch, and there's another swung on, and that is a hard hit ball, and it's caught by Arthur, but that's going to score another run. So there's 1 out, but the score now is 2-1. And it's going to be Brock Renfro, the first baseman, is up. Then he'll be followed by Mason Young. So Joplin, or Carthage.
Webb City.
Webb City, yes, sir. And they're swung on for strike 1 to Renfro. Webb City picks up a run, so the Cats will have something to answer for in the bottom half of the inning. There's the next pitch. It's a little outside for a ball. Webb City in their red and white. The Cats are all in white, and there's a ball hit, and Versluis is coming down. He makes the play. So there's the second out. Here's Mason Young. He struck out his first time up. Well, there's been a couple of hits, but they've been bombs, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's the first pitch, and that's inside for a ball. Crane started off the inning, last inning, or he was the second batter up, with a triple, and now Andrew Young does the same thing, and he comes around to score. There is a fastball, low and outside, ball 2. 2 outs. The Cats need to get out of this one and come back and rattle the bats.
Yep.
It'll be Rodriguez in the top of the batting order for the Cats. There's the next pitch, and that's a call strike. Crane going from that stretch, and there's the next one. Call strike 2. Canton did a nice job of framing that pitch,
Yeah.
making sure that the home plate umpire had every opportunity to call it. 2 outs, 2 balls, and 2 strikes. And there's the next one that's fouled. So we'll do it again. The wind seems to have slowed down just a little bit. We don't see it blowing near as much on the shirts of the Wildcats out there. Mason Young, the third baseman, struck out his first time up. 2-2-2, and there's the next pitch, and that is swung on, and that is caught by Jay Fisher. So that was 4, and there was a third out. But damage was done again, and right now the Webb City Cardinals are up 2-1 over the Neosho Wildcats. We're coming up to the Wildcats' half of the third inning. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
And welcome back. It's the bottom half of the third inning. There is a new pitcher, and that new pitcher is number 35. I do not have a 35 on my roster, so we'll find out here in just a minute or two.
Oh.
But it is 2-1. The Cats are coming up to bat. It'll be 9-1-2. And here's Rodriguez. Yeah, I don't see a 35 on my roster anywhere. Now we're going to find out here in just a minute exactly who that new pitcher is. He's got a pretty strange windup, and there's the first pitch to A-Rod, and it's fouled off for strike 1. Yeah, Bevan was going along real well. I don't know whether Coach saw something or something had happened or what. This new pitcher has the next pitch And that is low and inside for a ball. And that one's fouled back out of play. He's got kind of a strange motion because he starts back and he steps back towards first base and then comes back and steps towards the mound. A ball and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Alex Rodriguez. Next pitch underway, and that's ball. Low and outside. That'll even the count at 2-2. Here comes the next pitch. And he swung on, got him, strikeout. So there's the first out to retire the side. And Matt just got back in here. He'll tell us who
Tate Lewis.
Tate Lewis is the pitcher of record now, relieving Luke Bevelin, and he will become the DH, I'm sure. Here's Finn Versluis. He grounded out 5-3 his first time up. Tate Lewis, and there's the first pitch from Mr. Lewis on the outside. There's the next pitch, and that's going to be in there for call strike 1. It's going to even the count at 1-1. Lewis looks down, takes that step back, brings his foot back forward, and Rodriguez is ready to go, and that's call strike 2 on the inside corner. So Mr. Lewis is starting out by throwing strikes. And here comes the next pitch, and Finn holds off, and that bounces. You say his name is Tate?
Yeah.
Tate.
Probably over on the other newsletter over there.
Okay, Lewis comes back from the stretch, and there's a ball that is hit high, and hopefully it's going to be out of play, and it looks like it is. So that'll even the count at 2-2. So he steps right back in. Jaden Nichols will be up next for the Cats. And that's fouled off too. Luke's got a piece of that one. It was a little bit of a high fastball, and fouled it right back into the backstop. Little stretches. Here comes the pitch, and there's a ball. So the count runs full, 3-2 on the senior center fielder, Finn Versluis. Comes a pitch from Lewis, and there's ball 4. Now called strike 3. Finn thought sure that was ball 4, but obviously wasn't. There is the second out. Here's Jaden Nichols. Cats need to come back and answer back. Nichols was the one that helped us do it the other night, and there's swung on strike 1. Canton Smith and Liam McInturf will be up for the Cats. And that's a ball low. Evens the count at 1-1. Interesting stretch, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
And there's a foul ball that's back over here on the soccer field. We'll make the count a ball and 2 strikes. And he got him strike 3. So Lewis comes in, or Tate Lewis comes in and strikes out the sides. There are no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. After 3 innings of play, the Webb City Cardinals 2 and the Neosho Wildcats 1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
And welcome back. We're ready to start the top half of the 4th inning for Webb City. It is going to be Beverlin. He was taken out, but he will still be pinch hitting. Eggleston and Epler. Brody Crane continues to be on the mound for the Cats. He has got 3 strikeouts to his credits. It's been a ball game of big hits. We've had 2 triples, and each one of them has produced a run. Canton Smith back behind home plate. Earl Beverlin is up, batting right-handed. His first time up, he drew a base on balls, but he doesn't that time. Strike 1. Crane looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a little bit low and outside. Well, I think we've dodged the weather so far, Matt.
Yeah, it's gone.
Looks like it's gone the other direction, hadn't it? Here comes the next pitch, and that gets away from Canton, but it's low for a ball. So the count's 2 balls and a strike. No outs. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. Glad to have you with us. There's the next one swung on, and it's fouled off. That'll even the count at 2-2. Looks like we've had plenty of foul balls hit so far tonight, haven't we?
Lots of them.
Yeah. And no snow cones, but there's the next one, and that got him. Strike 3. So there's the first out in the 4th inning. Here's Brody Eggleston, the right fielder. Eggleston struck out his first time up. Could do for another one right here. There's the first pitch. Swung on, strike 1. Crane looks over at Smith, shakes his head, yes. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on, strike 2. So Eggleston, after having struck out the first time up, decides he better swing the bat pretty good. And I understand that. I would too. There's the next pitch. And that is outside for a ball. Even though Canton Smith did his very best to try to frame that pitch inside, the home plate umpire wasn't having any part of it. That got him strike 3. So there's 2 outs. And here's a guy that hit a double his last time up, Cohen Epler. Plays second base. He hit the ball hard and was awarded with a double for his efforts. There's the first pitch, a little high and outside for a ball. Cats half of the 4th inning. There's a high fly ball. Williams is calling for it, and he gets out of the way because Versluis comes around and calls for it, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, the score is 2-1 in favor of the Webb City Cardinals. We'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones Financial.
Here's Canton, the catcher. Canton Smith for the Cats, leading off the bottom half of the 4th inning, facing the junior, Tate Lewis. Lewis came in and struck out the side his last time up, so he definitely is interested in putting the ball in play, Matt.
Yeah.
Canton swings his bat, he gets in there a little bit. McInturf, Crane, and Jennings up in this inning for the Cats. There's the first pitch, and that is outside for a ball. Here comes the next pitch, and that is a ball low. So the count now is 2 balls and no strikes. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Cats are down by 1. Glad to have you with us. It's a beautiful, beautiful day now at Roy B. Shaver, and there's a hard hit ball that is flied out, and the right fielder comes around and makes the catch right back there on the warning track. So Canton hit that one hard. He gave it a ride.
Yeah, thought it was going to keep carrying, but it didn't.
It did not. Eggleston was the one that made the catch there for the first out. And here's the big first baseman, Liam McInturf. McInturf has turned into pretty much of a position hitter in that he just kind of slaps the ball wherever he wants to, but don't let that fool you. He has knocked the ball out of the ballpark here. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Ground ball hit between first and second would get him on base for sure. And looked like he held back. And catcher asked the home plate umpire to appeal to the field umpire, and he said, no, ball. So 2 balls and no strikes on McInturf. Brody Crane, who had a triple his last time up, will be up next. And then it'll be Drake Jennings. Lewis comes from the stretch. And there's a ball that is fouled out of play. It's right over the top of the Cardinals' dugout. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, or 2 balls and a strike on McInturf. There's the next pitch. And catcher really hung on to it, wanted the home plate umpire to call it, and he kept shaking his head no. So the count now is 3-1. Wind's picked up just a little bit once again, coming out of the north. There's the next pitch, and he fouls that one off. That'll run the count full.
That's just, I tell you, that guy, Lewis, man, that's an old school windup.
Boy, it is, isn't it?
I mean, that is old school right there.
Yeah, it most definitely is. McInturf could hit the ball down the right field. He could run till next Thursday if he wanted to. There's the next pitch, and that's high. You walk. So McInturf draws a walk.
The pitcher, number 4, Brody Crane.
Here's Brody Crane. Looks down at Coach Keith Kilgore. Kilgore's looking to see whether we're going to have a Yeah, we're going to have a pinch runner, and that pinch runner is number 3.
Gage Harville.
And that is Gage Harville. Harville got a little action in the ball game the other night and came around and scored against Parkview. So
yeah.
We're seeing some speed.
Yeah.
Cats have got a lot of speed coming into next year. We certainly lose 8 seniors, and that's going to be too bad, but we're getting some kids in that can play and have got some speed. So
that's the best way to do it, you know.
It definitely is. Crane steps in there. He swings that bat just a little bit. Here comes a pitch from Lewis. And there's a ball. You know, Lewis shakes his head about 3 times. I think he's looking over towards first base. I would assume he's got a pretty good pickoff. He's out of the stretch, and there's a throw back over to first base, but he's safe. Harville's back in plenty of time. I say plenty of time, his head first slide, but
yeah,
he certainly made it back. Now Lewis stretches out pretty good, and he's getting ready. Up and down, here comes a pitch. Swung on, strike 1. Got a ball and 1 strike. Cats have got something going here in the bottom half of the 4th inning with a runner on first base, and there's 1 out. And it was close. That almost got Harville, but he got back in. So he does have a pretty good pickoff move, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Cats need to get going and get going fast here. We need to rattle the bats. And Crane had a triple his first time up. Swung on, and that's fouled off for strike 2. Crane, Jennings, and Fisher. Fisher had his single his last time up. He just kind of reached out and tapped the ball right over second base into no man's land. Lewis looks down. Here comes the pitch. And Crane holds up. I almost caught myself again, didn't I? Crane holds up, and that'll even the count at 2-2. It's a lot slower with his delivery. And there's another ball 3. That was high and inside. Catcher comes up, and he's wanted to have a snap throw over to first base. But Harville back in plenty of time. So full count on Brody Crane. We haven't really seen Lewis throw anything but a fastball at this point. Uh-oh, they've got him. And then it was a nice play that time. It's a nice pickoff move, but that makes the second out. That was a 1-3-6 out, and the shortstop Strickland just ran him back to first base and tagged him before he could get back there. So there's 2 outs now and a full count on Crane. Lewis is shaking off the signs from the catcher. There's a good one. And there's ball 4. So that was one of those that Webb City thought that they had, but it was not because Crane goes on to first base. 2-out rally for the Cats would be good right here. And the wind picks up just a little bit more. Timeout is called, and we're going to have a pinch runner, and that pinch runner is number 10, Blaine Patterson.
Yeah.
So Patterson goes over to first base. We may test Mr. Bard's arm again. Steps off pretty good. comes the first pitch, and that's called strike one on the outside corner to Jennings. Lewis doesn't even look like he's looking over at first base, but that's pretty deceptive in itself. Here comes a pitch, and that's low and almost gets away from the catcher Bard, but he smothers it. And Patterson's back at first base. Here comes Lewis with his pitch, and there's a snap throw over to first base. Patterson's back in plenty of time. Here comes the next pitch. And that was called strike. Caught the inside corner. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom half of the 4th inning. Cats are down by 1. Comes the next pitch. And that was low for a ball. That'll even the count at 2-2. Patterson's still dancing around over there at first base. Takes a little bit more of a lead off. Lewis looks over at him. Comes the next pitch, and there's ball 3. So the count is run full. And the table is set for Drake Jennings, the sophomore. He's a designated hitter tonight. Lewis looks at first base, and he comes with that stretch and throws the ball back over to first, but Patterson back. Maybe trying to lull Jennings into a false sense of security. With that, we'll see. Comes the pitch. And there's a swung on, and it's fouled off. So we got a full count, and we'll do her one more time. That was a kind of an off-speed pitch, and Jennings really got around in front of it. And Lewis looks down. Here comes the pitch. And there's ball. Got him. Strike 3. So the side was retired, but there was one person left on base. No runs, no hits, and no errors. At the end of 4 innings, it's Neosho Wildcats 1, the Webb City Cardinals 2. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057.
Here's the catcher, Bryson Bard. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Webb City. Top half of the 5th inning, John Ball, Matt Ball. Glad you're with us. It's a nail biter so far, and right now the Webb City Cardinals have got the better end of it. Brody Crane on the mound for the Cats, and that first pitch was a ball inside. Bard got a free walk his last time up. There's another ball high and outside. Brandon Strickland will be up next. He hit into a force at second base, but there's called strike 1. His last time up. Crane's just moving right along, and there's the next one that's fouled off right back into the backstop for strike 2. Matt, how many pitches has Crane got so far?
He's at 69 right now.
69 right now, so being pretty economical with his pitches. He's certainly different than Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis is taking plenty of time out there, and Crane just gets ready and goes for it and got him strike 3. And that's the first out of the side. Can't drop that ball, but picked it back up and got it down to first base in plenty of time. Here's Brandon Strickland, the shortstop. That'll be Andrew Young, the top of the batting order. Crane looks down, there's the first pitch, and that's high, did not drop down. 4-1. There's the next pitch, and that's outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on the shortstop, Strickland. Brody Crane's next pitch, and that one's high too. That's 3 straight balls. There's the next pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. Crane's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts on the day so far. And that was call strike 2. Nice pitch, but also nice job of framing that by the catcher, Kenton Smith. So we've got a full count. There's 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. And there is a high can of corn. Hudson Williams makes the play. And there's the second out. Ball hit to the shortstop, Hudson Williams, that time. It was a high ball, but I don't think he took 2 steps, Matt.
No.
And made the play. Here's Andrew Young, the guy that leads it all off. He had a base on balls and came around to score in the scoring inning number 3. And there's the first pitch. And that's a ball in the outside corner. Oh, I'm sorry. Andrew Young I thought that was different. He had a triple and started the inning off. So next pitch. And that's outside for ball 2. Glad to have you with us tonight. It is the top half of the 5th inning, and it is a 1-run ball game. Ball 3 from Brody Crane. That was inside, a little bit of chin music to Andrew Young, the center fielder. Crane looks down. Here comes his next pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. I think he's decided he's got to get 3 balls, and then he gets serious.
Seems to be, He
has done that the last couple of times. Takes a little something off of it. There's another one, and that's going to be call strike 2. So we run the count full again, this time on Andrew Young, the center fielder. Crane working at his own pace. Here comes the next pitch, and that's fouled off, and I believe that was more a wasted.
Wasn't very fast.
No, Young kind of swung at it, just trying to get it, hoping it'd go foul, I believe. There's the next pitch, and that got him. Strike 3. So Crane gets 2 strikeouts that time and a fly ball. And we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be back with the Cats bottom half of the 5th inning right after this.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
Specialty Risk Insurance, First Community Bank, People's Bank of Seneca, all bringing you the ball game today, and we're grateful for that because if it wasn't for those sponsors, we wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be there. Bottom half of the fifth inning, and it's going to be the second baseman, Jaden Fisher. Fisher had a little bloop single, and he has the ability to be able to do that. Normally we see him line shot the ball. Tate Lewis on the mound in relief of Burlington, and there's a one that's hit high, high, high. It's going to be a can of corn for the right fielder, and he makes a play. Here's Hudson Williams. He struck out his first time up. Luke Beverland started the ball game, and I thought maybe there was something wrong with him. Obviously not, because he became the designated hitter and hit in the next inning. Junior Tate Lewis is in relief. There's a first pitch to Hudson Williams, and that's inside for a ball. Hudson Williams, then Alex Rodriguez, the right fielder. Comes the next pitch from Lewis, and that's swung on, foul back into the backdrop. And the count's even. And Hudson swings at another one, fouls it back into the backdrop as well. It makes a ball and 2 strikes. One out in the top half of the fifth inning. Cats are just keeping it close. They're just kind of hanging around. Matt, you got to think that they're going to break out here in just the next little bit, don't you?
You said it. Needs to happen.
Hudson wiggles that bat around like a wand. Here comes the next pitch, and that is low for a ball. It evens the count at 2-2. There's a ball high and outside. And knowing how badly we need base runners, Hudson is going to choke up on the bat a little bit and protect the plate. Comes the next pitch, and that's ball 4. So Hudson Williams draws a free bye. Here's A-Rod. It'll be the top of the batting order. A-Rod looks around and looks down at the coach and says, what can we do? Williams over on first base has got better than average speed. And he's bouncing around over there, and there's the first pitch swung on, strike 1. Looked like A-Rod may have been trying to aim that one out into short right field. Give Hudson a chance to get on around to third. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on. This goes to the third baseman, and he can't hang on to it, and he throws it to first base instead. But the runner, Williams, is second base, and there is a 5-3. There's 2 outs. Here's Finn Versluis. Versluis is grounded out to the third baseman and struck out his last time up. Cats will be playing over in Carl Junction on Saturday morning. I believe that's an 11 o'clock start.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah. And then we'll be right back here next Wednesday as the Cats take on Nixa, and that will be a 2 o'clock start. There's the first pitch. It's way inside for ball 1. For Sluice, Nichols and Kenton Smith for the Cats. Lewis looks down at second base, comes back, and there's a swung on ball that is hit hard and makes the play over to first base to retire the side. So bad luck for Versluis. He has hit the ball and hit it on the nose twice, right at the third baseman for the out. So there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on after 5 innings of play. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Webb City Cardinals. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Welcome back. It is the top half of the 6th inning from Roy Shaver Stadium in the Marion Family Complex. Brody Crane is carried on for the Cats from the very beginning of the ball game. And the first batter is going to be Carson Myers. He has struck out, and he's flied out to Brody Arthur. Brody Arthur over in left field.
There you go.
Yeah, how about that? Crane looks down. Here comes the first pitch. And that's in there for call strike one. He took a little something off of that one. Maybe a little bit of a curveball. Comes the next pitch from Crane. And that's call strike two. Crane's a junior, so we've got one more year to see him. He has verbally committed to Arkansas, and it's nice to see something besides just a fastball in his arsenal. It's swung on, and that's foul ball. Home plate umpire called foul ball on that, which was really good because they'd gotten down into the corner. That would have been multi-base. So we'll go back and do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. Top half of the 6th inning. Here comes the pitch. And I tell you, that was kind of an interesting who's going to move first. And Canton Smith just held the ball there and held the ball there and held the ball there. Home plate umpire called that a ball. And there's the next one. That is popped up. Rodriguez in right field, and he makes the play. So there's the first out in the top half of the 6th inning. Here's Brock Renfro, the first baseman. Renfro is grounded out 6-3, and then he flied out to Versluis in center field. Steps in. Here comes a pitch from Crane. It's high and outside for a ball. Crane looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and that's in there for call strike one.
It was moving.
Yes, yeah, it was. It certainly was. Comes the next pitch. Swung on, strike two. Took a little something off of that, and that was a little low and inside. So Renfro helped him out a little bit that time. Chased a bad one. Here comes the next pitch and got him. Swung right through that one, and that is strikeout. And that's a second out. 1, 2, 3. That's the 8th strikeout for Brody Crane tonight. He's certainly doing his job, but when we get ready, the offense is going to have to do something. There's the first pitch, and that's a ball. I don't think there's been an error in the ball game yet, and that's what you'd expect from Webb City and Neosho, a ball game just exactly like this.
Yeah.
And they're swung on, and that's going to be a base hit. Versluis is going to pick it up and bring it back. So Mason Young, the third baseman, is on base with a single. Here's Luke Beverlin, the designated hitter now. He's looking at his, well, normally that's called a wrist coach, but I think that one's a back pocket coach. He steps in, and Crane is ready. There's the first pitch, and that's called strike one. Beverlin got a base on balls, came around and scored in the second inning, and then he struck out in the fourth. Look over at first base. There's the second one, and that hit him. So Beverlin gets on first base by way of a hit pitch, and Young goes to second. Here's Brody Eggleston. He struck out twice. And we've got a little conference out on the mound. Canton Smith wants to talk to his pitcher for just a minute or two. I don't know whether they got crisscrossed on signals that time, or Canton just wanted to go out and calm him down after hitting Beverlin. Crane looks over at second base. Here comes the first pitch, and that's in there for call strike one. Runners on first and second, top of the sixth inning, 2 outs. Crane looks over again at second base, and there's the next one. That's swung on for strike two. So Eggleston's very quickly got 2 strikes. We'll see if Brody gives him something to chase. Looks at second base. There's the next one. Hit him. So that will load the bases. Well, that loads the bases, and Epler had a double his first time up, and then he flied out. Catcher Canton Smith goes out and says, guys, we just need one. Let's go ahead and get that. But before we do that, we're going to take a timeout because pitching coach Drew Osborne is going to come out for a minute. So we're going to take a timeout. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5220.
Well, the conference on the mound is over with, and we're ready to start again. Here is the second baseman, Cohen Epler. As we said, he had a double his first time up, and then he flied out to center field. Crane on the mound for the Cats is getting up there and pitches, as Matt said, and there's a swung on, and it is caught by Jaden Fisher. Nice job. That's the second time that has happened tonight. So the Cats avoid a bases loaded hit, and they get out of the inning. There were no runs, and there was 1 hit. No, there was not a hit. There was 2 hit batters, and that loaded the bases. And at the end of 5.5 innings of play, the score is 2-1 in favor of the Webb City Cardinals. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
Fawcett Greenhouse at 898 Baxter Street in Neosho is a proud supporter of Neosho sports. Springtime brings growing season and baseball to the Neosho area, and Fawcett Greenhouse supports all Neosho spring sports and wants to wish all Wildcats good luck for a happy and safe season of competition. Fawcett Greenhouse can supply you with all your home landscaping and gardening needs. For more information, the number is 417-451-5369 or FawcettGreenhouse.com.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth for the Neosho Wildcats is number 11, the third baseman, Jaden Nichols. He'll be facing Tate Lewis, who is in relief of Luke Berlin. Here comes the first pitch from Lewis, and that's a ball. He has a very, very slow, deliberate delivery, so much different than what we see from Brody Crane. Here comes his next pitch, and that's going to be low for ball two. Cats need base runners. We can pick up a couple of runs here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Then Cats have got a real chance to go away with the win today. Comes the next pitch from Lewis. And that's taken all the way was Nichols, and that's a strike. Counts 2 balls and a strike. There's an opening between first and second base for a ground ball to go through. And there's the next pitch, and the home plate umpire shakes his head. 3-1's a count. I don't know whether that ball was low or inside or what it was, but it was a ball, so we'll take it. And Lewis goes through his annex. Here comes the next pitch, and that is called strike 2. So the count is full on Jaden Nichols. Steps in there, and he's going to have to protect the plate now and maybe fastball hunting. And he does, and he hits that ball right out to the shortstop who makes the play. So Strickland gets the first out. And here's catcher Kenton Smith. Kenton Smith, Lynn McIntyre, and Brody Crane. Kenton steps in, has 1 foot in the batter's box. Now both feet are in there, and he's getting settled in. There's the first pitch, and that's swung on and fouled right back here into the soccer field. Lewis comes in with the second pitch, and Canton hits that one right to the first baseman, and he goes over and makes the play unassisted. So there's 2 outs. Here's Liam McInturf, who has flied out, and he drew a walk. Lewis goes into his warms up, and there's the first pitch, and that's called strike on the inside corner. Took a little something off of that one, I think, Matt.
Yeah.
Nobody warming up. Now there's somebody warming up in the Wildcats bullpen, and it's swung on. There's strike 2. Balls and 2 strikes. I'm trying to see who that is over there.
It's A-Rod.
Is that A-Rod? And there's a ball that bounced in front of the plate. So Rodriguez will come in relief of Arthur. Arthur's pitched a really good ball game. And he's going to be pitch counted out. But right now, here's McInturf. And there's a ball low and outside. McInturf gets ready, and here comes a pitch, and that's outside for a ball. So that'll run the count full. Crane had 8 strikeouts on the night. Webb City picked up a couple of timely hits that gives them a 1-1 lead. Here comes the next pitch, and that's high, so McInturf gets his second free pass.
The pitcher, number 4, Brody Crane.
Here's Brody Crane. He realizes that, we're going to have another pinch runner. Now looks like that this is going to be Arthur.
Dane Arthur.
Dane Arthur over on first base, and pitching coach is coming out to talk things over out on the mound. Crane goes over to talk to Coach Kilgore. We'll hang on to it right here. Arthur with speed. We've seen that happen before, that we've gotten our speedsters on base, and it certainly has paid off for us. So there's 2 outs, bottom half of the 6th inning, and here's Crane. Crane had a triple that produced a run back in the 2nd inning. He can just get his timing off and put the barrel on the ball. Wind seems to be picking up just a little bit and blowing from left field to right field. Here's the first pitch, and there's a hit, and that's just caroms off. What a great, great piece of hitting that time by Crane, and it just caromed off down into right field. So with the speed that Arthur has, I believe he'd have probably scored.
Yeah.
Looks like A-Rod's ready to go down in the bullpen. Here comes the next pitch from Lewis. Kind of shakes his head up and down, and swung on strike 2. Crane was fastball hunting and took a little something off of that. He swung under just a little bit. So 2 balls and no balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Tate Lewis in relief of Luke Beverlin. Beverlin pitched 2.5 innings, and Lewis is taking the rest of it. Snap throw over to first base, but the young Mr. Arthur is back in plenty of time. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, got him, strike 3. So, Cats are getting closer and closer to needing to do something, and there was no runs, no hits. There was 1 man left on base at the end of 6 innings of play. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Webb City Cardinals. And the new pitcher is going to be, as we said, Alex Rodriguez. We'll be right back after this.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Now the Cats have got a new pitcher. It is Alex Rodriguez. Crane will go to first base, and sophomore Blaine Patterson will go into right field. So we're just about ready to get going, and Cats need a 3 up, 3 down. Then they need to come back and rattle the bats once again. This is very similar to McDonald County. I hope we have the same type of end result, don't you?
I hope so.
Yeah. He'll be facing the catcher, Bryson Bard, and then it will be Brandon Strickland, the sophomore. There's the ball thrown down to second base, and we're just about ready to get the 7th inning underway. Looks like I see a pinch runner. This is number 5. And it is going to be Barrett Weller.
Yep, Barrett Weller.
Barrett Weller is a sophomore, 6'1", 165. Hey, Rod kind of squats down for just a minute or two, waiting for a home plate umpire to get things underway. And now we're ready to go. A-Rod throws strikes, so there's no doubt about it, the ball will be put into play. He struck out 3 to end the ball game the other night, and there's the first pitch, and it's in there for call strike 1. He came in and struck out 3 to retire the side against McDonald County, and the Cats came right back in. Now somebody wants to, coach from McDonald County wants to, or not McDonald County, but Webb City, is calling the base umpire over for something, and now he's just kind of sitting there, never mind, going on back. Rod, here comes his second pitch. And that was Canton asked home plate umpire to. Now here it comes. I believe what he is going to want to do is question a balk move by Rodriguez. So Canton's going to go out and take this time to talk to A-Rod for just a minute or two. The home plate umpire is out over there now. And the coach for Webb City, Andrew Dowling, is talking with both of them. He's apparently satisfied he made his point, and he's going back to third base. But there is a ball and 1 strike on Weller, the sophomore, who is hitting in place of the catcher, Bard. Here comes the next pitch, and that's hit, and it's going to go right up the middle, or into left field. And that was just barely getting the bat on the ball, but it works and it produces a base runner. Here's Strickland. That ball was hit and just went right up.
He check swinged.
Yeah, he just check swinged it and went right between first and second base, kind of in no man's land. There's the first pitch.
Boy, I'd have thrown it.
Crane holding him on. Canton jumped up to snap it. And he thought better of it and hung on. Strickland has got on by way of a fielder's choice, and he flied out to the shortstop. And there's a snap throw over to the base runner back. So keeping an eye on Weller over there. Strickland showed bunt just a minute ago. I think he's doing the same thing again. And here comes Jaden, and that's fouled off for strike 2. apparently that was the first one was a ball, so it's going to even the count at 1-1. And that was held back on the bunt inside for ball 2. People still coming in. There's a JV ball game after this one. Come on out here. You got plenty of time to have a beautiful evening out and root on the Wildcats. And that was pulled back 2, so that's 3. And Rodriguez wants another baseball. Coach Dowling over there kind of hollering things back and forth to his runner on first base. And A-Rod just kind of threw that one back just to let him know that he was there and was not going to let him get too far down the road.
Yeah, he's not at the end of his pitches.
No, he's not. And that's a foul, and it's going to be strike 2. Canton tried to jump out and get to it, but he just couldn't. It was a pop bunt that was in foul territory. So we've got a full count. Runner on first base is Weller. Webb City's won their last 4 ball games. There's a throwback over to first base again. That was a little bit closer that time. The base umpire was right there on the play. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there's another throwback over to first base. Strickland, Andrew Young, and Myers. Double play ball in order for the Cats right here would do wonders. Rodriguez steps off, and we'll start back again. Looks down at Canton. Here comes the pitch. And ball 4, he walked.
How about center fielder number 6, Andrew Young?
Here's Andrew Young. He has flied out to right field. He's had a big-time triple, and he struck out. Canton goes out to talk to A-Rod for just a minute or 2. And here comes the home plate umpire. He's going to say, guys, we need to break this up. We need to get going. No outs, 2 runners on in the top half of the 7th inning. Cats down by 1. It's been a whale of a ball game. Webb City scored 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 3rd. The Cats scored 1 in the 2nd, and that's basically where we are. Left-handed batter steps in. A-Rod looks in, looks over at second base. Here comes the first pitch, and that's low for a ball. Strickland over at first base is not being held on by Crane, so he can kind of run around a little bit. Rodriguez taking his time now. Looks back at second base and throws the ball back to second. The runner Weller is back in plenty of time. Cats in search of that elusive 20th victory, and there's a swung on foul ball back into the backstop, and that evens the count at 1-1. Rodriguez looks down, looks over at second base. Here comes the next pitch, and that's called strike on the outside corner. So 2 balls and a strike to Andrew Young, the center fielder. Comes the next pitch. It's outside for a ball. Clayton Patterson out in right field. Young turned on one and got all the way down into the corner.
Yeah, he did.
A little bit earlier. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a ball that is just kind of tapped, and it loads the bases. Now here comes a throw in, and he got him. Yes, sir. Great throw. Nice play. The ball from Patterson. Woo! He comes up with it and gets the ball into home, and that causes the first out. Sliding in. But Strickland goes to third, and Young goes to second. Nice, timely throw by the sophomore.
It was a great
Patterson.
throw.
It was a great throw in order to get the out. There's one out now. Cats have a chance to get out of this one unscathed. And here is Carson Myers, the left fielder. He struck out, flied out twice. And there's a ball that's high. It was a nice piece of hitting by Young that time. He just stuck his bat out and aimed it in between first and second base. But he had no idea what kind of arm that the right fielder had. Mr. Patterson. Here's a throw over to third base, just to kind of keep everybody honest. Rodriguez, here comes the pitch, and that's high and outside. Cats are playing in for the play at the plate. There's a stretch from Rodriguez, and that was a little high for a ball. That's 3-0. Loads the 4-0 loads the bases and gives the Cats an opportunity at a double play ball. Rodriguez takes a big deep breath. Here comes the next pitch, and that was called strike. He was hopping on down to first base, and he waited for the home plate umpire to make that call. So the count's 3 balls and a strike. There's one out. Top half of the 7th inning, scores 2-1 in favor of Webb City. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on, and it's fouled back. So the count's full. It looks like that there is someone down in the bullpen warming up. I don't know whether that is someone warming up to come in or they're warming up for the next ball game. Apparently Kenton Smith wants to have a conference on the mound. We want to talk about what's going to happen here. And the home plate umpire says, well, I think we've taken about enough time for this. Let's get going. Brock Renfro will be up next. He has grounded out, flied out, and struck out. Rodriguez looks down. Here comes his first pitch, and that's swung on, and it goes to Boston Patterson, or not to Boston Patterson, but to Williams, and Williams backs everybody back up and gets it over to Crane for the second out. Now here's Renfro. Boy, if the Cats could get out of this, and it looks like that umbrellas are going up, so it looks
some rain
a
coming.
little bit of rain coming in on us. Nice ground ball that time, and there's a first pitch inside for a ball. And the rain's really starting to come down pretty good right now. You'll remember we had a rain delay some time back, and there's a pitch that is low for a ball, and the home plate umpire takes his mask off and kind of looks at things. He's looking to see if there is any lightning or thunder in the area, and he says, nope, time out, we're going to stop. And we will take a time out, and then when we come back, we'll see where we go. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and lifestyle.
You found it. The ultimate car wash. The one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car, along with combined 100 horsepower blowers. Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
Welcome back to Roy B. Shaver Stadium. As you can see, the rain is coming down, and it was coming down in sheets there just a minute ago, and the home plate umpire looked around looking for lightning and looking for thunder, didn't see anything. Finally, he said, that's enough, I don't want to get too wet, and he stopped the ball game. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. There are 2 outs, and the batter is Brock Renfro, and he has 2 balls. Now, the Cats are down by 1, and what we've seen when we had the big rain delay against Republic the other night is the Cats come back just even stronger. So that's certainly what we're looking for here, and if we can do the same thing that we've done a couple or 3 different times, and this being a 1-run ball game, be able to walk off and win the game. However, Matt, I don't know. You look up there in the sky. I'm not real sure.
Yeah, I don't even know what's. I know the rain's not coming from that cloud, but I don't know which one it's coming from.
No, I don't either. So we're going to take another timeout, and we'll see where things go, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
McKay Quality Roofing is a proud supporter of KNEO Radio and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They're located in their offices at 811 South Neosho Boulevard. They specialize in roof removal and replacement of residential and commercial properties. In order to serve you better, they have offices in Neosho, Cassville, and Grove, Oklahoma. Call McKay Quality Roofing at 417-455-3326 for a free quote, or go online at McKayQualityRoofing.com for more information. Go Cats!
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats. We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
Well, welcome back. We are ready. The Cats are out on the field. Now, I'm assuming that Rodriguez will have an opportunity to take a few more warm-ups after sitting down for just a short period of time, but the rain came and went, but there's still some pretty ominous-looking clouds out there. Certainly would like to get this ball game going, get it out of the way. As it stands right now, it would already be a complete game, in which case Webb City would win by a score of 2-1 at the end of the sixth inning. However, there's probably an argument to be made about Webb City finishing and the Cats getting their last bat, so we may very well do that. There's supposed to be a JV ball game after this. We'll see if that doesn't happen, but you can see in your viewer screen just exactly that cloud is not makeup, and that is not something that we put in there. It is a cloud. And it looks like that it is going to be continuing to head in our direction for just a short period of time. It is 6:30 now, so it may be over with by another 30 minutes or so, at least enough to finish the ball game. So we're going to do just exactly that. The home plate umpire is over helping Kenton Smith with some of his equipment. Webb City is coming out, and they are getting back on base.
Rain's coming out of the north, by the way.
How about that? It sure is. It's pretty amazing that that's happening. Alex Rodriguez is on the mound in relief of Brody Crane, who had another strong performance. He had 8 strikeouts, and he just pitch counted out. It took a little bit longer to get some of those outs than usual, but A-Rod doesn't look like he's worse for the wear at this point. He's getting a few warm-ups, and Kenton Smith out there, home plate umpire, says one more, and we'll be ready to go. The batter of record is Brock Renfro. He has 2 balls and no strikes. There's 2 outs, and there's runners on second and third. Kenton Smith's going to go out and talk to his pitcher and maybe tell him to get back to throwing strikes the way that you did the first part of the ball game. Great play just a few minutes ago by Hudson Williams as he was playing in for the play at the plate, and there was a hard ground ball hit, and he hesitated. Everybody had to look back, and he still got the ball over to Crane at first base, and that was the second out. First out was a strikeout.
Strike.
And there's the first pitch, strike one. Here comes the next pitch to Renfro, and there is a pop-up. Fisher and Patterson makes the play. So the Cats get out of the inning unscathed, and we will go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The score is 2-1 in favor of Webb City. We'll be right back after this.
The Neosho Area Chamber.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays, and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7 a.m. Learn more about the Hillcrest Church of Christ at neoshochurchofchrist.org.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the four-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999. Well, umbrellas are up, and we are ready to get started. I want to go back and recount the 7th inning. I said there was a strikeout. There was not. There was a ball hit through center, or between first and second base, and the right fielder, sophomore Blaine Patterson, made a great throw in to get the runner trying to come around and score at home for the first out. Then we had a ground ball. Hudson Williams made the right decision and got the ball, held runners and got the ball over to first base. And then a pop-up again to the sophomore Patterson, and we make the play. Here we are in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Cats are down by 1. Here is Drake Jennings. Drake's grounded out and struck out once. Lewis on in relief of Beverlin, and there is a ball high and outside. Cats need to do it right here. Lewis looks over, and there's the first hit, and that ball is hit to the third baseman. He picks it up, and he makes the play. Nice play by the first baseman in order to pull that out of the dirt, but there's the first out. Here's the second baseman, Jaden Fisher. He's had a hit in the ball game.
Yeah.
And then it'll be Hudson Williams, who has gotten a free pass and got around to third base. And there's the first pitch, and it's called strike 1. Fans are coming back out slowly but surely, and they're watching things. Fisher is in there. Here comes the next pitch, and that's going to be low and inside for a ball. It's going to even the count at 1-1. Stay tuned after the ball game for the post-game show, which is brought to you by Arvest Bank. Here comes the next pitch from Lewis, and that's inside for ball 2. Fisher's got some speed if he were to get on base. Hudson Williams is on deck, and then it is the pitcher of record, Rodriguez. There's a call strike. So Jaden looks at 2 of them. The count's 2-2. Lewis getting ready. Here comes the pitch, and swung on, and it's going to go to the second baseman. He pulls it up. He bobbles it a little bit, but he makes the out. 4-3, and there is the second out. Here's Hudson Williams. Hudson gets on, then Rodriguez gets an opportunity to be part of the conversation with his bat. Williams had 2 hits the other night against Parkview, and one of them was a home run. It's the first pitch, and it's high and outside for a ball. It's just a need to keep the ball game going right now. And here comes Lewis's next pitch, and that's high for a ball. And home plate umpire is going to take the baseball from the catcher and say, this one's a little wet. Have we got any more? So he goes over to the Cats dugout and grabs a new ball and takes it out to the junior, Tate Lewis. Hudson stands in there. Here comes the pitch, and swung on and fouled it back. So that'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. home plate umpire in a big hurry to get that baseball so it doesn't get too wet. Hudson does not move, and that one was a little bit of chin music. It was inside, and he ducks a little bit. That makes the count 3-1. Rodriguez, and then top of the batting order for the Cats. Lewis comes with his pitch, and there is ball 4. So Hudson Williams draws his second pass, free pass of the ball game. And Rodriguez, he has struck out once, and he has grounded out 5-3. And someone from the Cats keeps coming out with a towel to try to dry off as many baseballs as we can. It's actually kind of lightened up a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I just don't know what's over the top of us.
Williams looking. And here comes the pitch from Lewis. Swung on, strike 1. If you'll remember in that game against Carthage, Rodriguez did hit one over the left field fence, so he does have the ability with one swing to win this ball game. Lewis looking down, here comes a pitch, and there's a ball that's hit to right field, and right fielder's going to chase it, and it's going to be a fair ball. Here comes Hudson, and he's going to score, and we're going to have a tie ball game, and Rodriguez is going to go around to third base, and they may be sending him on. The Cats tie it up. Rodriguez hits a triple, and Hudson Williams scores all the way from first base. Nice hitting. Now the ball game is tied up now at 2-2. So the Cats at least extend the ball game. And here comes Coach Dowling. He wants to, apparently he's already decided he's going to make a change. Nice piece of hitting by Rodriguez to help himself out that time and bring Hudson Williams around. Cats seem to be able to do it with 2 outs in the 7th inning again.
Yeah.
At least to tie this ball game up.
So, yeah. I mean, it's, what I say, back to 0?
Yeah, back to 0. That's exactly right. And Versluis hits the ball out into the outfield. And Cats win the ball game. Winning run is over on third base. Lewis is still in the ball game. Versluis stands in there. There is a big hole in right center field. And there's a pitch, and it's going to be low. Jaden Nichols is up next. Here comes the pitch from Lewis. Swung on, strike. Leaving the count at 2-2. Versluis swings the bat a little bit, and he says no. He's watched Mr. Lewis take a whole lot of time. He's going to take a little bit of time himself. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom half of the 7th inning, and the score is tied, 2-2. Got him. So that ends the inning, but the Cats do what they've got to do, and we go into the 8th inning, skied 2-2 with 1 run on a great hit, and 1 man left on base at third base. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family. so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the four-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
In the top half of the 8th inning, it will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Webb City Cardinals. Alex Rodriguez on the mound in relief of Brody Crane, and he's the one that just hit the double or triple into the right field corner that scored Hudson Williams in order to extend this ball game. Cats have had their share of close ball games of late, haven't they, Matt?
Absolutely. But they continue to hang, and this is what I've been impressed with, you know.
Yeah, very much so. They hang around and hang around and hang around. Here is Mason Young. He got a base on balls his last time up, and he took that one for call strike 1. He struck out once, and then he flied out to Jaden Fisher. There's the ball high. It evens the count at 1-1. Here comes the pitch from Rodriguez. That was a little bit high for ball 2. Two balls and a strike, top half of the 8th inning. Great ball game. The fans are being treated to a dandy here, and there's a swung on, and it's going to go to Fisher. Fisher's up and over to Crane for the first out.
Nice job.
Here's Luke Bevlin. Bevlin has walked, come around and score. He struck out and has been hit by a pitch. Here comes the first pitch. Swung on and goes right to Rodriguez, and he catches it in the air for the second out.
Right. His glove was on the. I couldn't.
Well, the right fielder makes the play, doesn't he?
My goodness.
So there is the second out, and he robbed Bevlin of what probably would have been an infield hit. First thing he did is pull his glove up and show it to the home plate umpire, and he called him out. Here is Eggleston, and there's the first pitch. It's in there for call strike 1. Eggleston was hit by a pitch, but he struck out twice. Rodriguez with his next pitch. Here it comes, and it's high and outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. Rodriguez from the stretch, and there is a ground ball that's going to be foul. And it was quite a ways foul. In fact, it was almost in the Wildcats' dugout.
I'd say we're going to have to find another box of balls here in a minute.
It's going to be real close, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Eggleston, and there's the next one, and that's called strike 3. Got him.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Cats Brits take care of business in the top of the 8th inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Your Neosho Wildcats coming up with a tie score of 2-2. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
Fawcett Greenhouse at 898 Baxter Street in Neosho is a proud supporter of Neosho sports. Springtime brings growing season and baseball to the Neosho area, and Fawcett Greenhouse supports all Neosho spring sports and wants to wish all Wildcats good luck for a happy and safe season of competition. Fawcett Greenhouse can supply you with all your home landscaping and gardening needs. For more information, the number is 417-451-5369 or FawcettGreenhouse.com.
Welcome back to the Roy B. Shaver Stadium at the Marion Family Complex. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Scores tied up between the Neosho Wildcats and the Webb City Cardinals 2-2. Cats picked up one in the bottom of the 7th in order to extend the ball game. So we will start out with Jaden Nichols, Canton Smith, and Lim McInturf. Nichols is grounded out, struck out, and is flied out to the shortstop. Here comes Lewis's first pitch, and that was ball inside. Tate Lewis on in relief. He's pitched since about the 3rd inning. I don't know how many pitches he's got.
He had 84. That was 85.
And there's ball 2, low and outside. Cats need to manufacture base runners. Lewis, the junior, looks down, and he goes into his windup, and there's a pitch. And there's a solid shot into center. Oh, nice, beautiful play that time by the center fielder, Andrew Young. A sliding play in order to make the out.
That's a highlight reel catch right there.
It most definitely is. There's the first out, and here's Canton. Canton's bat has been relatively quiet today. He drew a base on balls and is flied out to right field. And then he was lifted for a pinch runner when he drew the base on balls.
Yeah.
So ball 1 high. There's another ball high and outside. We'll run the count to 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out, bottom half of the 8th inning. Tate Lewis on the mound for Webb City. Catcher Canton Smith, the senior, up to the plate. There's the next pitch, and that is swung on, and that is high, and it's going to get out of the. It did. It got out of the ballpark, so that's foul ball, strike 1. Lim McInturf and Brody Crane. Brody Crane has a triple to his name today. There's the next pitch, and that's going to be called strike on the outside corner. He evens the count at 2-2. And I said Lim McInturf, it is not going to be. It is going to be the sophomore, Blaine Patterson. Comes the next pitch, and that's foul back. So Canton's a battler. He gets it in his wheelhouse, he will send it. But boy, I tell you, there's a big opening between right and center field. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on, got him, strike 3.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 10, Blaine Patterson.
Fielder Blaine Patterson comes in, and he will bat on the left-hand side. It'll be Brody Crane. Patterson steps in. Here comes the first pitch from Lewis. Swung on, strike one. Here comes the next pitch, and that one's high and outside to the left-handed batter, leaving the count at 1-1. Patterson's got some speed. We've seen him pinch run more than anything else, and he swung on that one. That was strike two. And there's no doubt about it, he's getting these cuts, Matt.
Yeah.
Steps in there, has that elbow up high. Looks back, here comes, and swung on strike three. So the side is retired, and we go to the ninth inning, and we're tied up 2-2. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
And welcome back. It is the top half of the ninth inning. Colin Epler, the second baseman, he has had a double, and then he has flied out twice. Facing Alex Rodriguez for the first time. And there's A-Rod's first pitch. It's a ground ball, and it gets past diving Williams, and he's on first base. This is number 22. And this is Bryson Bard back. Catcher Bard was lifted for a pinch hitter earlier, but he stayed in the ball game and is catching. Rodriguez looks down, and there's a throw back to first base. Epler back in plenty of time. Comes the first pitch. Looks like it's a bunt. It is a good bunt. And goes over to first base, but the runner gets to second base in plenty of time. But that's the first out. So 1-3, and there's the first out. But Epler is on second base. Of course, you always wonder if Rodriguez had whipped around and thrown it to second base if he'd gotten the man.
Well,
that's certainly not a... You get the sure out, don't you?
Yeah.
This is Brandon Strickland. He got on by way of a fielder's choice. He flied out to the shortstop, and he walked and was stranded at third base in the seventh inning. Not sure what we're going to do if I run out of paper here.
Well, I guess you can use the back side of this one.
Rodriguez on in relief of Crane, and there's the first pitch. It's high and outside for a ball. But did exactly what it needed to do, and it moved the runner over to second base. But The Cats have got one out now. And here comes the next pitch. And that's a little bit high for ball 2. Rodriguez looks down. Kenton Smith is flashing the signs, and Strickland says, that's too long to look. You need to come back out. Rodriguez actually steps off the rubber. Looks down at second base. Here's the next pitch, and that is swung on. It's going to be over to Fisher, over to Crane for the second out. The runner goes to third, but right now that's okay. So 4-3, and there's 2 outs. Here's Andrew Johnson. Andrew Young steps in. He has had he's flied out. He's had a big triple. He's struck out. And then he was stranded at second base in the 7th inning. Kenton Smith wanting to go talk to Rodriguez again just to make sure that he knows what the line is on Mr. Young, because, and I'm sure he does, because he was in right field when that ball went into the right field corner. There's a lot at stake in this ball game, and it's gone certainly well. There's the first pitch, and that was outside for a ball. The Cats have a chance to get that elusive 20th win tonight and beat Webb City, who is in their side of the COC Conference, by the way. And Webb City has a 4-game winning streak on the line. So there's ball 2, high and outside. Rodriguez looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and that's going to be called strike. So the count is 2-1. There are 2 outs in the inning. We need one more, and there's the next pitch on the outside corner, ball 3. Rodriguez looks in. Here comes the next pitch, and there's ball. I'll call that strike. So that runs the count full. I thought sure that was a ball, but home plate umpire called it a strike. Rodriguez takes a big deep breath. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a high foul ball. It's going to be out of play, almost over here into the softball field. Rodriguez looks down. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a ball that is hit over to Crane. Crane made it and got the out. Great job by Brody Crane that time. It was a line shot to deflect off to Jaden Fisher and to get the out. So there was no damage done. There was one hit, and runner was stranded at third base. And we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. The score is 2-2. And Wildcats coming up to bat. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services, including checking and savings accounts.
And welcome back. We've got a pitching change for Webb City. Bottom half of the 9th inning. Brandon Strickland is going to come in from his shortstop position, and Talon Hassop will be the shortstop of record now. Brody Crane, he's got a triple to his credit, and this will be a good time to get another hit. There's a first pitch, and it's ball low and outside. I don't believe anybody's left the ballpark, Matt. They may have gone outside a little while ago, but or gotten in their cars, but they're right back out here, and there's
Everybody's
a lot of people standing around. They're watching this ball game. And ball 2 to Crane. And he holds back on that one. Home plate umpire shakes his head, says, no, that's ball 3. Strickland looks down at the catcher. Here comes the next pitch. And Crane apparently had the green light on that one, and he fouled it off for strike 1. So 3 balls and a strike to the first baseman, Brody Crane. Here comes the next one, and that's ball 4. So the Cats get a runner. Here's Drake Jennings. Jennings has grounded out twice and struck out. He looks down at Coach Keith Kilgore. This would be something that Kilgore would relish, to have an opportunity to put a play on right here. And here comes the first pitch, and it's a bunt, but he holds it back for ball 1.
A little high.
Just a little bit high. Jennings, Fisher, and Williams. And the sun comes out again. Here's the next one, and he bunts that one, and it's foul. Leaving the count at 1-1. In case you're just joining us and wondering what's going on, this ball game started at 4:30 this afternoon. It is almost 10 minutes after 7. We're in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Cats scored 1 in the 7th to extend the game with a score of 2-2, and that's where we sit. And there's another one, and he pulls it back, and the catcher snaps throw down to first base, but Crane's back in plenty of time. 2 balls and a strike on Jennings. Crane's got some speed. Don't think he doesn't. And he gets out there, and that's ball 3. Fisher's up next, and then Hudson Williams. Strickland looks down, and here comes and there's ball 4. So the Cats have got 2 base runners in the 9th inning.
Number 2, Jaden Fisher.
Fisher had a base hit in the first inning. He just kind of reached out and tapped the ball, and it went into no man's land into center field. Coach Downing's going to come out, and he's going to have a conference on the mound. He's walking kind of slow. There's nobody in the Webb City bullpen. Of course, there's no one in the Neosho bullpen either. Runners on first and second, no outs.
It's a pretty good spot to be in.
It is. It is. And I'm not sure I'd want anybody else up but Jaden Fisher right now because of his ability to hit the ball. Home plate umpire is going to come out and say, okay, guys, let's finish this up and get on with it.
He says, I want to get home before midnight, please.
Yeah, and we still got a JV ball game after this.
Yeah.
So the home plate umpire just comes out and just kind of stands there for a minute, and everybody realizes what he's doing, so we're ready to go. Fisher could get something on the right-hand side if they give him the opportunity. Maybe something right over the first baseman's head.
So what in the world is that, a cell phone?
I don't know. Brody Crane's on second base. Drake Jennings is over on first base. And Jaden Fisher's up to bat. There's no outs. Strickland looks down. He's not even looking at the runners. Now he looks back at the second base runner. And I'm not sure exactly what they thought was going to happen that time, but
a little merry-go-round.
Yeah. Yeah. Kepler, who has moved into shortstop, was kind of running forward, and the second baseman was trying to creep behind Crane and see if they couldn't pull some sort of a fake move. Fisher stands in. Strickland shakes his head, looks down, looks at second base. Here comes the pitch. And Fisher holds back for call strike one.
Well, that's a good pitch.
That was a good pitch. It sure was. Fisher steps back in again. We'll see if that same thing is going. It would not surprise me. Yes, it is. And there's a bunt, and it is a beauty, but it goes foul. My goodness.
Wow.
It went. That ball went about 2.5 inches foul.
Yeah.
So Fisher's got 2 strikes. Hudson Williams is up next.
Sun's out.
The sun is out, yeah. And here comes a pitch. Swung on, and it's going to be fouled out of play. So the count remains the same. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners. We're in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Runners on first and second, and there's no outs.
No fear.
Strickland in relief. There's the next pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball. And Bard makes a nice smother that time to keep anybody from going anywhere on that pitch. Brandon Strickland in relief of Tate Lewis, who is in relief of Luke Billion. There's another ball. Jaden looked it over and thought better and realized home plate umpire said the same thing. That's a ball. So the count's even at 2-2. He's waiting for his pitch. Here it comes. And there it is. There's a ground ball into second base, and they're over to first for the first out, and he's safe at second base. But the runner is over at third.
Safe at first, out at second.
Safe at first. That's right. So Fisher is on by way of a fielder's choice, and that was a 4-6 force, and there's 1 out. And the winning run is on third base.
Yes, it is.
Hudson Williams looks over, and there is, again, a huge opening between center and right field. The outfielders are playing in because they know anything over their head, it's over with anyway. Hudson Williams steps in. There comes pitch. And there's a ball. And Fisher just takes second base.
I knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, you knew he was going to do that.
I knew it.
Yeah. So Fisher's on second base. Brody Crane is on third. There's one out, and Hudson Williams is the batter. Here comes a pitch, and it's fouled off for strike one.
What else can you do when you're the Cardinals?
Well, there wasn't much. They really couldn't. They've obviously seen Jaden do that before, and but they thought better just let it go.
Yeah, they weren't going to get sucked into it.
No.
But we tried.
Mm-hmm. Hudson steps out, steps back in. Strickland stretches. Here comes the pitch. And there's a fly ball, and it's caught. And here comes the play into the plate, and he's going to make it home. Cats win it.
Cats win the game.
Cats win it. Cats win it. Nice hit by Hudson Williams out to center field. It was a nice throw in, but with the speed of Brody Crane, he comes around and scores.
Oh, what a feeling, folks.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Woo!
And Hudson Williams does it again. The guy that said he didn't like what his bat was doing hits a ball out to dead center field, and Crane comes in and scores. Cats win it by a score of 3-2. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We will be right back after this. Stay tuned for the post-game show.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do. And for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. And if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats. We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Well, welcome back to Roy Shaver Stadium. The Neosho Wildcats win it in 9 innings, but more than anything else, Matt, we hit the elusive 20th win of the season.
What a victory it is today.
It's a great victory, and we beat the Webb City Cardinals. They go to 12-12. We also have a COC win because they are in our side of the COC, so a lot depended upon this ball game. The Cardinals break their 3-game winning streak.
4-game winning streak.
Well, 4-game winning streak, that's right. And finish it up. It was a hard-fought ball game. I will tell you that the Cats did it again. Good teams hang around and hang around and hang around and do what they have to do. We're going to take another time out, but we want you to come back for the post-game show. The post-game show will be brought to you by Arvest Bank. We'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats.
Today's Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
You found it, the ultimate car wash, the one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
Fawcett Greenhouse at 898 Baxter Street in Neosho is a proud supporter of Neosho sports. Springtime brings growing season and baseball to the Neosho area, and Fawcett Greenhouse supports all Neosho spring sports and wants to wish all Wildcats good luck for a happy and safe season of competition. Fawcett Greenhouse can supply you with all your home landscaping and gardening needs. For more information, the number is 417-451-5369 or FawcettGreenhouse.com.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
You found it, the ultimate car wash.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7 a.m. Learn more about the Hillcrest Church of Christ at neoshochurchofchrist.org.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Affordable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
And welcome back to the postgame show. The postgame show is being brought to you by Arvest Bank. At Arvest Bank in Neosho, we believe in the power of serving others. From small businesses to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help you manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, we've got you covered. You deserve a financial partner who cares and can help you reach your financial goals. Arvest Bank in Neosho, proud to call Neosho home. And I'm sure we've got some guys coming up this way in just the next couple of minutes, but the Neosho Wildcats pull it out again. It was a squeaker, and one thing about it, even though the Cats have done all the things they've done, they certainly have entertained the fans, haven't they, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, what a great game, and willing to go the distance. That is, that just says it all right there. How bad we want to compete, how bad we want to win. And just sometimes it takes extra innings, but we seem to be pulling that out.
Yeah, we really do. The Cats are, we got into the 7th inning and we were down by 1. Webb City scored 2 runs and it went all the way and we were down by 1. And here come some of the Cats now, and we'll get a chance to talk to them. But Rodriguez, hey, Rod. Hey, man.
How are you doing?
I hollered at you because I was going to say, let's see, you pitched and you hit the ball into right field, into the corner, and was at third base. Why didn't you score?
Didn't have it in me, I guess.
We are so glad. What a great, great hit. You had to feel good about that. I mean, you were on the mound, and to be able to get a hit like that and drive in Hudson, so we extended the ball game, and then you just took it from there.
Yes, sir.
I tell you, there was a little bit of a rain delay. Did that bother you any?
No, not It's ready to go.
Ready to go, and it was exciting. Now, did you have all your good stuff tonight?
For the most part, yes. I used what I could, and it got the job done.
Yeah, it really did. Hats off to Webb City. They're a quality ball club, aren't they?
They are. They put the ball in play.
They put the ball in play, and we got the opportunities and get Crane around to third base, which is kind of our mode, isn't it? We get someone on first base, we move them around, we get to third base. Hudson comes through and hits the ball into center field, but Brody had it made, and here comes a couple more ball players at the same time, and I'm getting so sick of looking at that guy, I can hardly stand it. But we'll talk to him again. Brody, another great performance by you. So how do you feel? It's our 20th win.
20th. It feels great. I mean, we were itching for that one, and that's one game we needed to win, and we won.
Yeah, it really did. So congratulations, another great performance. And you hit the ball right where you needed to when all was said and done, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
So,
Thank you.
all right. Let me talk to... You're last. You're last. Mr. Patterson. Let's see. You caught a ball. You threw a guy out at home. Is there anything else that you did?
No, not much. Just ran the bases. Tried to do my job as I could.
You have done that all year long. You know that we've got the speed that we need, and you get on base and you run your heart out, and it certainly is paying off. This thing about we instead of me is working, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is, and being able to contribute in a ball game like this and go 9 innings and beat Webb City, that's pretty exciting.
It is very exciting. We came together as a team. We worked hard and got it done.
Well, we got our 20th win. How do you feel about that?
I felt great. We all worked together. We've been playing with each other for a while, and we've been working hard in the off season, and we finally paid off.
Certainly did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Had a great showing tonight. Appreciate it very much. Okay. I'm afraid to talk to this guy because he's liable to be a sports commentator and take my job before it's over with. Brody, congratulations on another great victory.
Thank you, sir.
You had a great performance. You struck out 8. You hit that ball into you got a three-bagger out of it. Probably could have scored maybe. Yeah. Did you think that there was a doubt that you weren't going to score the last run?
Honestly, no, because I knew A-Rod was going to come in, and we don't quit. We do not quit, and that's one thing I love about this team. No lead is safe in the 7th inning, especially with us at the plate.
Well, hats off to Webb City, and they did what they had to do, and what they pulled their outfield in because they knew if it was over their head, the party was over anyway, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you were able to show your speed, so, you're contributing on both sides now. I don't know if there's any extra nil money for someone who does that or not, but our 20th win.
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
It feels great. We've been itching for that, and that's one of our season goals, and we met that, and we still got games to go, so we can shatter that.
Yeah, we go to CJ on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to make you a deal. We go to CJ, and then we come back here to Nixa. We're going to be behind home plate on Saturday against Branson.
Yes, sir.
Just so we can watch.
Yes, sir.
Now, the last time I was at home plate in a ball game, a ball came up and hit me because I was protecting the camera. That's the deal I'm going to make with you, that I'm willing to do that again.
Yes, sir. Let's shake on it.
Congratulations on a great victory. Okay, let me talk to Coach here for just a minute or two. Well, Coach, first hats off to a quality ball club in Webb City.
Yeah, and we knew that coming in. We were going to have to play well, and historically, they're just, solid and year in, year out. So we knew we were going to play well.
Yeah, they as I said, they did some things right. They obviously pulled their outfield in because they knew if it was over their head, the ball game was over with anyway, and they gave themselves an opportunity. But Brody's speed and his desire to get there first is what won that, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I would say maybe lack of speed, but no, I mean, he's, a kid that has a lot of baseball IQ, and he knows when to tag and see it without hearing and taking off when needed. So, he makes up, for lack of speed, baseball IQ. But, he's not a bad runner, but he's just an athlete that understands the game, and he knew what we needed to do right then. And, I was proud of, HUD. We talked about maybe suicide squeeze and butting him home, but, we had confidence in HUD, to put the ball in play and give us an opportunity, like he did. And, and prior to that, just two guys being disciplined enough at the plate, which, they weren't bad pitches, but disciplined enough to, get on base. And, and Fish was able to move them over to third with, with 2 outs. So, it was just a collective, team effort. More importantly, it was a will to win. Having A-Rod, with 2 outs in the 7th, and it looked dim, and we had a runner at first base, and when that ball got down, there was no holding back. We even thought about sending him home and making them make the throw, but I think he was a little gassed when he got to third, so we had to hold him up.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he didn't think he could make it. I'll tell you, we're going to have a cardiac machine here for either you or me, one of the two.
Hey, I tell
this
you,
keeps up.
I love it. I enjoy it. Kids make it fun, and I don't know. That's our second extra inning win in 2 tries, and. So, just finding a way these kids never feel like that they're out of it, and that's the culture that we have, that we got a chance, and, if we got an out left, we got a chance.
Yeah, we really do, and we've showed that, and we showed it with the things that have brought us to the dance. I mean, getting on base, moving people over, making the plays, and swinging the bat and being disciplined at the plate. Those are the things that brought us to where we are.
Situational baseball, and you just got to be fundamental in the little things, and and when you're able to get a big hit or a timely hit, but putting yourself in a position to one of our goals is to score 1 run an inning. It's not 3, 4 or more. We're just trying to score a run an inning, and and tonight it was great for the club, and get our 20th win, and that's one of the goals that we set at the beginning, to get to 20. And we're going to like our seed, as far as the district tournament, and so it's come down to the end. It's like I challenge the guys. I mean, with 2 weeks left, we got to be building steam, and forget about everything that has happened prior to this game. Now we just got to take it one game at a time and keep trying to build some momentum and prepare ourselves for the district tournament.
Well, I'm going to repeat what I said to you earlier before the ball game started. With this ball club, doesn't matter what the seeding is. This ball club wants to play. This ball club wants to win. This ball club puts that we in front of me attitude in place, so it doesn't matter whether we're the first seed, the second seed, 6th seed, or 8th seed.
You bet. And that's the culture that we have developed. It all started in Florida, and I will still give credit to our Florida trip and bonding and building relationships, and so it's one to where they love the game, and they're coachable, and they make it fun, and it just warms this old guy's heart. And I love coming out each and every day, because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Congratulations. But more than anything, if you ask the kids, they're making Neosho proud, and they're excited about that.
Yes, they are. They care about what's on their chest.
Absolutely.
Go Cats.
All right. Well, thank you. Now you hear it. You hear it from the guys that made it happen, but we didn't have all of them, because everyone in this ball club made it happen in one way or another tonight. The Cats win it in 9 innings. They beat Webb City by 1. The score was 3-2. We win our 20th ball game. We win a COC ball game that puts us up even higher on our side of the seeding for when we get ready to go to district playoffs. And once again, we go to Carl Junction on Saturday. Our next ball game will be right back here on Wednesday when Nixa comes to town, and that's a 2 o'clock in the afternoon ball game. And then Matt and I will be right back here on Saturday when we have our final ball game of the season. I'm going to say season, the regular season, because district playoff starts. And Matt, as you well know, there's 2 seasons to this. This is regular season, and then there's district playoffs.
Yeah, it goes. Hey, when it comes to districts, it's back to 0.
It absolutely it is. So until we see you again, John Ball and Matt Ball saying go Cats!
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.